All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another HD broadcast, and today we are going to be looking at the STC versus Tester rematch. That is right, it is going to be on the exact same map as we saw before here on Metalopolis, and this time you gotta wonder, does Tester have a little bit of blood boiling in his Korean veins? Is he a little bit angry at his clanmate? Could he possibly come out with a victory today? It is going to be, once again, the rematch. The STC spawning here as the same exact color as he was last game, dark green Terran, although the position has changed a little bit. Instead of being at the 6, gonna be at the 12. I'm gonna ask you guys all who are watching right now, if any of you guys are Korean and can understand this, then please translate down below, and hopefully you guys don't troll me very, very hard. But it is going to be a Terran versus Protoss yet again. Tester going to be spawning as OGS SSKS down here in the same position as he was before, and the same color as well, I believe. So it is going to be very, very similar, and you got to wonder, is the build's going to be similar as well? Is Tester going to open with that fast Void Ray, and is the STC going to open with that 1-Rax FE build that he seems to like very much? Going to throw that barracks indoor once again, not going to wall off, and I suppose that it is going to be very, very similar. I mean, I don't see why not. The only difference I gotta think here is Blink Stalkers are going to be a little bit less effective because of the range, the proximity. On top of that, the Void Rays are going to be a little bit less effective as well because they got to travel a little further, and then they got to make their way around all this land to get to the minerals. So we'll see if Tester decides to change up his strategy a little bit, but both these players of such high caliber that I would not be surprised to see the same thing or anything different, really. Anything in the air is possible. And so I'm going to request a little bit more translation here as the game continues to progress. Maybe someone can transcribe and translate all the conversation that's going on today. That would be really, really awesome. But yeah, it is going to be an interesting game, I think. Here comes SKS, aka Tester. I'm gonna get real confused. I'm probably gonna have to start calling him Tester sooner or later, but he is going to move, or excuse me, SKS sooner or later, but he is going to move this probe over to the STC's base eventually and find out exactly what's going on. STC here still does not have the command center yet, and he doesn't look like he's gonna, I don't know, we'll see. He's throwing up the supply depot right now, so perhaps he's gonna start saving up. Oh my goodness, the STC is going to proxy a factory down to the south, down to the nether regions. What the heck is going on? And so I guess we're not going to see the same build at all. It's going to be very radical, much different than last game, and I can't wait to see what happens. The STC here trying to get his scouting SCV in. Has he seen anything yet? No, he has not. All he knows is the Protoss player has spawned here. He has no idea what is going on. SKS here getting those double assimilators once again, so we probably will be seeing a Stargate tucked away somewhere in the base like we saw last game, but little does he know that there's a factory being constructed right here, and this factory is going to lift off very, very soon, I gotta imagine, and it's gonna float and land right here. Oh my goodness, or right here, okay. And this is going to be so deadly if he can build a reactor and then start pumping out Hellions, or screw the reactor, man. Just pump out Hellions and then cut around the backside and start burning some probes. That would be very deadly indeed. Looks like we have a fast Robo Bay coming up for Tester. He's moving out with a couple of forces, and so is the STC moving in with a Marine, or a couple Marines, an SCV, and a Marauder. Looks like the factory has landed and Hellions are starting to pump out, but I'm not sure I agree with the Hellion revealing itself this early on. I'd rather the STC get around 2 or 3 and then move in and start roasting up some probes. So I think this might be a little bit premature, but we'll see what happens here. The SEC trying to ward. Oh, I see what this is all about. Warding the Protoss forces away from the main base, and then he's gonna tuck in here with this sneaky Hellion and start roasting up some probes. Nice play from the STC right here. Tester finally realizing that there is a Hellion in his base, is surrounding the Hellion with his probes. My goodness, doing everything he can, and now he knows that there is a factory somewhere inside the base. He does see it indeed, but another battle is keeping Tester occupied right here. The Zealot versus Marauder, the eternal battle for struggle where the Marauder always wins, but with Micro, of course, and the concussive shells. And it looks like this Zealot is going to go down from Tester's, or excuse me, from STC's Micro. Meanwhile, back at base, getting a Starport, and he is going to be landing that on the Tech Lab. Possibly could be seeing some quick Banshees. Very nice one-base play from each of these players. The Marauder finally taking out that Zealot, and yes, there is a Banshee on the way. Could there possibly be Cloak as well? I'd like to see the STC get a command center down. He's got like 400 minerals saved up, so why not? Looks like the factory finally forced to evacuate the area and get evicted by those stalkers. This Hellion, I don't know where this Hellion came from. I guess it was left over from the factory, a second Hellion or something, but it don't know how many kills it actually got. 0 kills. So not the best for the STC. His actual harass with that proxy factory didn't really do all that much, and I can't help but feel perhaps if he had waited a little bit longer, he might have been able to do a little bit more damage with his Hellions rather than revealing them prematurely. Looks like the probe here is, or the observer here, the flying probe, that's what they are. Don't they look like probes? Anyways, it is going to see the this tech lab and the Banshees, so right now SKS, aka Tester, is going to know exactly what to do. He is going to probably get some stalkers out, and of course getting an observer inside his main as well to deal with the Banshees, and I really don't think that the STC's continual harass with all these, you know, janky units here and there, you know, a proxy factory, a Banshee, cloaked Banshee by the way, because he is getting cloak, it's just not going to be very effective against Tester. Tester's well prepared for this. He has 2 stalkers here, he's got an observer here, flying probe, excuse me, and he's got his Nexus building as well, so he is going to have that income advantage. Meanwhile, an attack coming here for Tester as he tries to push his front door, so he does have full map control right now, forcing the STC to actually throw up a couple of bunkers at his front door. Looks like the Banshee here actually took some damage from that observer and stalker combination, but did not really kill much, maybe just like 2 probes, which isn't really the best. Stalker's warping in, almost catching the Banshee as well. Uh-oh, observer and stalker, careful the STC, careful Mr. Banshee. Oh, the Russian pilot gets taken out. And so that's not not a good day for that Banshee or the STC, who's going to be forced to float this factory. This factory has been flying all day long. Not really aerodynamic. It wants to land very badly. And so we do have another command center though for the STC, so I take it back. He did build a second, but he built it in base, so he's not going to capture natural at all. He's just going to use this for muling, and he is getting a ton of barracks right now, all with tech labs and 1 reactor as well. So could we be possibly seeing some kind of an all-in attempt in the next couple of minutes? I still don't see the STC grabbing his natural yet. This Banshee here taking out, I guess, some kind of force, a stalker on the ground, but we still don't see the STC finally